So Jean shares her impressions of light, color, and atmosphere in her paintings. She paints both in plein air, outdoors, or in the studio, as she interprets the California landscapes, local rivers, farmlands, coastal scenes, or a still life's composition of flowers. Recently, her inspirations come from her travels, frequent trips to Maui, the California coast, or images from Europe and Asia. Doesn't that sound nice right now?
Oh my gosh, we had big plans for trips,
Yeah.
and they're obviously canceled, and he's pushed them to next year, and
Yeah.
we don't know whether Australia will be open or there's a cruise plan that will end up in Hong Kong. Who
Oh
who
my
knows?
gosh. Yeah.
Who
So
knows?
you have to find your inspirations around here. You
That's
have,
exactly it. That's
yes.
exactly it.
So Jean, tell me about your current body of work, or what are you working on right now? Or yeah, how do you work? What are you working on right now?
So it's a combination of things. The plein air landscapes I continue to try to pursue. Um, in February, I was at the Maui Plein Air Festival to see other plein air people, and then I took a workshop from Michelle Usabelli. So I go every year for the past 10 years or so to
Yeah.
Maui to paint in February.
Oh, how
And
wonderful.
so I came back with about, I don't know what, about 10 canvases, 3 or 4 of which are on my newly launched website,
Okay.
jeanwileyart.com.
Okay.
And it's just like within the last 3 days, I just squeaked under the dead or in front of the deadline so that all the links to jeanwileyart.com, particularly from the Verge guide, work. That's
Good.
that's what I hear. Um,
Good.
and then besides the plein air, I mean, besides Maui, we've done a road trip to Central Coast, where I painted in Half Moon Bay, Carmel, and Arroyo Grande, Pismo Beach, Shell Beach area. So
So
I get to do these water scenes as well
uh-huh.
as some landscapes. We have a vineyard that's up in Somerset, and I paint up there.
Is
And
it
then
you do mainly plein air, right? Or do you no, you
I
also do,
do,
yeah.
I've also I painted studio work. I'll
Okay.
pick a bouquet of flowers, or I've got favorite glasses, or pictures, or even fruit from the garden, and I'll paint
Sure.
those.
Sure. That's
Um,
great.
so
What is your process? Do you first sketch? Well, in plein air, it's pretty much on the spot, right? You paint right. There's no sketching. You just
no, there
go
is
for it.
no, no. In fact, I was just talking to my friend Susan Landy, another artist, and she is really good about doing a really detailed sketch.
Oh,
I am more do a 1 minute or 2 minute sketch of
mhm.
what I'd like to do. Since my background is graphic design, I
Okay.
have a sense of what will work. And the more I've painted, distance views don't really, it's not something that I resonate with. So I need to have kind of a clear focal point, and I work off of
Yeah.
that.
Some
Um,
detail. Yeah.
and you're a painter as well?
Well, I play. I can't say I'm really. I like to paint, but I'm not very good. I rather represent artists who are very good than myself.
Oh, we
So
should talk further. We should. What was your question?
my question was, okay, where about if you just do the plein air or the studio, and what is your process? If you
What's
first
the process?
sketch, or it just goes spontaneous on there? Because the plein air, I see people out there, and it looks to me like it's very, very spontaneous. Like, You know, you
It
can have
does,
your
but
color. No, it's
no. I am very spontaneous. I tend to be spontaneous, and I like to capture color and
Mhm.
enhance color. I like to um, create atmosphere,
Yeah.
um, and it's obviously not a photograph.
Mm.
So I'm not interested in something that's literal. If I wanted to do super realistic, I'd take a photograph, but
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, it's your
Um,
impression. Yeah.
yeah. And so, but I'm apt to do a small sketch. And I'm just thinking, I wonder if Terry is listening. He probably isn't, but Terry Mura was a teacher, and it will probably continue to be a teacher of mine. And he's like, you've got to design the painting, design it, create a definite composition.
Especially
And
your graphic design background, you know, you can,
right,
yeah.
right. But how to enhance the focal point and creating pathways, visual pathways to that focal point, um, creating the value pattern that will enhance the focal point. Those are all things that we plein air painters work on,
Yeah.
and some to better effect than others. But at any rate, and with with floral with floral and still life
Studio, yeah.
and studio,
Work, yeah.
again, I will sketch it out, but I can see it. I don't know whether you can see that. That's one of them back there,
Yeah, I can
and it
see
just
it. Yeah.
um, and it's I like it. I happen to like orchids. My parents raised them in their garden, so they've gifted me some, and or friends will drop by and bring orchids. So I
Beautiful.
tend to
Yeah.
kind of like that. Um, but I like being able to create these still lifes and see what happens. I don't always know.
No, I can see that, but it's, you know, you're very accomplished and you do beautiful work. And what keeps you motivated? What is your yeah, what keeps you motivated to create work, to create
You
the new
know,
thing?
I saw that question come up,
Do you
and
ever get tired of it? Like, okay, that's a beautiful landscape. I'm going to take a picture.
no, I have to say that the 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 things that that keep me motivated is I still feel, how do I say this, kind of that there are so many, there's so much more to explore in painting,
Yeah.
so that just to become a better painter,
Okay.
um, to learn how to paint dappled shadows, to learn how to paint um, very, very close value patterns, uh, and even in composition.
Mm-hmm.
So, and truthfully, other painters inspire me. I'll see work at a museum, whether it's the old masters or 18th century,
Yeah.
19th century, and or even the moderns. You know, if everyone from Joaquin Sorolla to Velasquez to John Singer Sargent,
Mm-hmm.
William Merritt Chase, all the way through Diebenkorn and through the modern people, Richard Schmidt,
Yeah.
who's terrific. Oh my gosh, his his
I'm not familiar with Richard Schmidt.
he's still living and
Yeah.
has an amazing book called Alla Prima. I think that it's lying around here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And other people have been influenced by him. He is no longer teaching. So I happened to catch Karen Anderson on streaming. Let's see, it's called Streamline Videos. Eric Rhodes,
Okay.
his midday, he's been streaming ever since the quarantine. And he'll interview a new artist. And Karen Anderson, I bumped into her and I think, oh my God, I love her florals. So I'm inspired by other artists and their talent.
Yeah. That's great. Any local
Oh
influence?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm going to lead with Terry because
Yeah.
Terry Mura is a friend, past instructor, probably will be a future instructor. I buy his art. And Philippe Gandiol, uh, local genius at doing cityscapes and still lifes, and they're both lovely people. Michelle Lucibelli, whom I mentioned previously, Randall Sexton in the Bay Area, Jim McVicker up in North Coast. Those are people, and I've taken their workshops all except for Jim. And there's others, Susie Baker. So, and Susie Baker was her workshop that I took maybe 2 years ago in Maui. We just did a very, very brief figure, a portrait. And I just felt like, okay, this is something that I could really get into. And maybe and possibly as I continue to find my voice, and that is, and my voice is a variety of things. It's the way I move the brush, it's the way I use color, composition, and then maybe increasingly looking into that which is authentic. My background, I'm Filipino, raised a great part in Hawaii, and exploring the Filipino American, Pacific Islander, and Asian themes more is something that really resonates with me. It's authentic, and I haven't embraced it.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know.
You're finding out.
I'm finding out.
The more you delve in that, the more you will find out. That's really exciting. So another question I have, and I'm really curious about this whole pandemic, it really, how has it affected you and your work? Are you working differently, or is it the same, or how has it affected you, your work?
My work.
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you that I just miss people. I'm really social. I like gathering with people. I'm like Jerry Seinfeld, who only prefers other comedians. I'm an artist who loves other artists. And so there are groups of people that I'm used to plein air painting with.
Yeah.
And some people who we've done still life studio work together. I miss going to open studios. So I don't know that I'm really actually dealing with that solitariness very well, but I'm just creating a channel on Instagram Live called Art to Art. Good. And I'm interviewing Terry Mura tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and interviewing Philippe Gandiol at 2 o'clock. And then I am the third person to be interviewed by my friend Susan Landy, who is herself an artist, multimedia artist. And because art and creating art is such a solitary journey.
Right.
It's so interesting to me to be able to connect and be able to, so I'm going to create these conversations with other artists. Great. And I don't know what the schedule will be. I'm hopeful that I'll get some interest from other people, and we'll create a dialogue and start to bridge the solitariness of this period, because apparently this may go on for a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe longer.
Yeah, there's no really end date, we're all so unsettled about it. And I love that you are, reaching out and creating this dialogue and keep it going. And, everybody needs it. And especially like you say, you're in your own world, you're so focused on your own work, and it's a solitary kind of work to have that connection and to still be social, even if it's online. I love meeting you, we're online.
I know we're online, and I have heard about you. My friend Maggie is coming up, and she told me she talked about you. Yes.
Who was this? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Maggie Jimenez.
Oh, yeah, Maggie is, I think, I'm going to talk to Maggie later.
You're going to talk to her, right?
Yes, yeah, we go way back. We're old friends, You stay you're long enough in the Sacramento arts community, and you pretty soon you know everybody.
Well, I don't really know. I'm still, getting to know many of the artists, even amongst the 125 that are in the SAC Open Studio. So
So
on that,
one more. Oh, is it time?
actually, so we're out of time for
Oh.
Jean.
Okay.
Thank you, Jean.
hi,
I just would like,
Justina.
hi.
Hi.
I went to Jean's studio last year. It was
And
wonderful.
thank you both for doing this.
Thank
just
you,
want-
Jean.
before you
Very
go,
nice
Jean,
meeting you.
Just
Thank
before you go, Jean, I just wanted you to let us know where, if you could say your website again, let us know how to find your work and purchase it.
Oh, great. Thank you to talk about purchasing, but it's jeanwileyart.com. I just went live with it, and I don't have pricing on the website, but I have certainly pricing that is available. And all of my pieces are titled and their sizes, and I can give somebody, if they're interested, prices certainly in an email. And there's a contact link on my website. So
Very good.
Awesome. That's
Thank
great.
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great job. Thank you. Thank you both.